Hey everybody, this is Anthony Mitchell, host of the End Zone Club podcast, and if you were watching today's content, you know I've got something special for you. But anyway, I'm here in Philadelphia, getting ready to show you guys the third part of my journey. But I want to encourage you, if you're not following, liking, subscribing to our content, please take the time to do so before you enjoy today's content. But anyway, you know every nerd has got to take the pilgrimage step, but before we get to that, let's rewind it back in time. $5 in the morning, and I'm fat. Got to get it off my body, so I'm out here at, oh my God, 30 degrees out here this morning, little homie. But guess what? Your boy has got to get it. Can't come back home to my wife looking fat, happy and greasy. So let's see what happens. I know you can see it all over my face. Hard workout, but even better eating after it's over. But guys, this is something that I forgot to include on the very first video in this series. So I'm going back to my hometown of Eatontown, New Jersey, and I want to tap in to where my civic and community duty started and where the foundation was laid. Basically where I learned how to do what I do. Let's go. So I want to show you guys this particular building because this one ties in a lot more civic part of our journey. Meaning what we're doing. This is our old DYA building. I don't quite remember what DYA stood for, but this is actually the original building. And then behind, you can hardly see it from here, but that was the swimming pool there. I don't remember ever swimming in the pool or it ever being open. But the DYA was after school. It was a program that had, you can basically see it. It was a community center, and it allowed us to have, an outlet to play. I remember we used to run marathons out here, and I hated it. My sister used to beat me all the time. And the building that I'm also going to show you next door is the Shopette, which was just a small shopping area. But these are two of the areas from my old hometown that are still standing, that were here when I was here. A lot of the rest of this has changed, but it was in here that you had a lot of counselors, so to speak, just volunteers. You had teachers that volunteer time to work with kids, and just the loving atmosphere they provided for us in this neighborhood. I promise you, this was like a lifesaver. Because here you got a chance to play games with friends, you played pool, you just did so much, and through this atmosphere we were able to just have positive reinforcement. This is actually the foundation for the atmosphere that I'm striving to build with kids now. It's just so crazy that the just the time and attention adults put into us 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, it's still resonating. And I know it works. So when you're looking at who I am now, a lot of that did not come from living in the South, which is crazy. A lot of that came from places just like this, in a place you would have never thought that had a whole lot of hospitality. But let's pull out the DYA for a minute. This building straight ahead that we see used to be the old CCOM building, which was like the big, I don't even know what they did. It was like a big hexagonal shaped building that had a parking lot, a big old parking lot in the front that all of the kids used to play at. Yeah, there used to be, just over here, there were rows of houses that ran. As a matter of fact, Michael Jordan's brother he was right, that's where he lived, right over there. And then I lived right over there. You see the basketball court? Yep. Anyway, I think this is like the like a firehouse. This used to be here as well. But actually right here, kind of catty corner back here, was where the baseball fields and soccer fields were. This is where I learned how to play sports. Right here. I was part of a baseball team. Matter of fact, if you look down there, you can still see some of the soccer goal nets that used to be out here. But this used to be my old neighborhood right here. I'm gonna pull in here. It's now called Patriot Square, Fort Monmouth, but I'm gonna pull in here and see if I can find a place to park and kind of just walk around a little bit. But as I'm driving around, it's just funny. I'm seeing some of the names on the roads, and some of them have not change. Even though the area has kind of been reconfigured, so to speak, a lot of it hasn't changed. I kind of think you guys catch the gist of what I was talking about in my last video. You saw the shopette, but you didn't know it was a shopette because it was a very quick picture, as well as me not wanting to dwell too much in memory lane. But growing up, my father had siblings in the state of Maryland, which for us was about a 2-hour trip. So there was many times that we would go down and do different things and spend time with some family, but namely, for me going down into DC, you're going to see me spending a little time with my cousin Makia, which you'll see in the next few videos, the next few clips. So when you see this young lady that's not my wife, no, I am not cheating. That's actually my first cousin, which we're very close. But anyway, went down into DC, got a chance to see a whole lot of just scenic places, from the Arlington Memorial to the White House to even Black Lives Matter Plaza, which, as you guys know, is being torn down now. So in some of the pictures earlier, you got a chance to just see that. Saw the Eisenhower building, as well as several other big places, which I won't reveal too much. I want you guys to watch the video and tell me what you recognize. But yeah, I shot all of this with my Samsung, so I'm pretty proud. That's a shout out to all of my Samsung users. You have a lot of power in your hands that you can use. Apple, catch up. But here we are, just headed to the White House, and around the White House, all around President Avenue and some of the corresponding areas. That's what you're seeing in these videos. Also, you'll see shots of National Harbor, which for me, what's significant, Makia's mom passed away roughly 14 years ago. And the last time I was in D.C. was 2001, which I hate to tell my age. But as a graduation present, my uncle flew me in and got a chance to stay most of that summer of my graduating year before my first year of college. Well, like the night or two before I left, my aunt shows up and says, "Hey, I'm getting ready to take you around the city and let you just see DC." Now, at this time, you guys remember you used to have the one-time use cameras that were real big. Well, I only had 2 film left. And one of the places we went was to East Potomac Park, which has this statue that you see right now. It's since been relocated now to National Arbor, which I think is around the Waldorf area, but it still remains the same. Makia, knowing that story, took me there so that this time I could get a picture with a very good camera and have a lasting memory. But anyway, what you're seeing is just that National Arbor area. It's very upscale. I like it. It's beautiful. A lot to do. We got well over 3 miles worth of steps this particular day, and I promise you, your boy was tired. But yeah, that's my connection to Maryland, to DC, to the Baltimore area. But come on, y'all. Let's keep tapping in. I got more to show you. So, just let's just be honest. Since I'm out traveling, I was talking with my instructor, and he told me to stop by the Poconos there at the Delaware River Gap and just check it out. He told me there's a lot of scenic stuff to see. It's real beautiful. So for me, I got up early one Sunday morning, wanted to get my feet in some dirt, and just to get in the ambient, valuable nature and just recharge. So I got up in the Delaware River Gap, took some quiet time to reflect, some quiet time to think, strategize, but most importantly to pray. I promise you there's nothing better than starting your week off in just a time of prayer and reflection. So that's what I did, just recharged. It was very cold, very cold out. But yeah, if you've never been to the Poconos, please go, please see it, please make some time to get out to hike, breathe fresh air, drink some water running out of a stream. basically it. But um, again, I don't really bear much connection to the Poconos other than living in the Jersey area. We did know a lot of people who would go up and get timeshares as well as rental properties and just have a good time. But you can see from the pictures, it was cold. You can look at the color scheme. It's real kind of dimly lit. We actually, as you can see, there was still snow out. But yeah, just a good time of prayer and reflection. Hey, in the comments below, I would like to know, how do you guys recharge your battery? What do you do in your spare time that helps you to prepare mentally and spiritually for the week? So here's what's crazy. I'm a big New York guy. However, you can't come into New Jersey, especially South Jersey, and not go see Philly. I got to Philly, meaning I arrived by airplane the day after the Super Bowl. And if you guys know, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl this year. I didn't think it was a wise idea to come back during that time while everybody's celebrating. However, they did let class out early so that students could go, or as well as people who lived in the area could go and celebrate. Now, I will say I'm glad I didn't go. My spirit didn't feel comfortable being there, and I'm glad I didn't go, because as many of you saw on the news, fans started fighting each other and they started shooting. Something about Philly fans, they are wild to that point that they are passionate. But y'all, I mean, just for me, even though I grew up in a New York market, I did see a lot of Charles Barkley and Dr. J early on when I first started watching sports. That's about it for me in Philly. But hey, it's beautiful. If you can just get out and see the Museum of Art, if you can see some of the places that the Constitution was framed, it's got a lot of historic value, as well as the cheesesteaks, and of course the sports are a big draw. But man, Philly actually has a lot to see, so I had to get out on foot and see it. So yeah, let's join this journey, and let's hear a little bit more about this part of my trip. Another fan moment, walking the streets of Philadelphia, here at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, which may not ring a bell at first, but this is the infamous place where none other than Rocky ran the steps to victory. And there's a statue at the top. You can see it from here. Anyway, that's the museum. I'm getting ready to run the steps. Major fan moment. Then I'll take a picture with Rocky, and then I'll take myself back home. Let's go. Today's content, but anyway, you know every nerd has got to take the pilgrimage step. But before we get to that, let's rewind it back in time. You know where I'm at. I'm gonna just run the steps. Ready, set, go. Doing just like Rocky, all the way down, nice and pretty. Let's go. Let's go. Da-da-da. All right, and that's how it goes all the way to the bottom, but you get the gist of it. So you guys know I couldn't come to Philly without getting a cheesesteak. I wanted to do Geno's steak because it's popular and also because it's a Tuesday and Angelo's is closed. So I will be back to do just a comparison of who's who. Locals swear by Angelo's, but you know Geno's is definitely a well-known name. So let's kind of jump into it and see what we think. All right, so I'm at the wrong gate. I'm at the wrong gate. I'm way on the wrong. I'm way the wrong side of this daggum airport. Philly, why? All right, y'all. I got to get up and get to the right gate. I am 32 gates off from where I should be, so I'm getting ready to get my steps in. But yeah, end of the trip. It was a great experience. Being able to see family again, some of my old stomping grounds, being able to visit, but most importantly for my kids, my wife, my family. This is it. Daddy's coming home. Man, when I tell you I'm tired, but I'm getting ready to leave out early this morning. I'm trying to surprise my family. They don't know what time I'm leaving. I'm leaving way earlier than I told them I was leaving, so yeah. Yep. Of course, the family was very happy to see me, but now that we are back home, it's time to tack the honeydew list and get everything done.